Hey, welcome back. Thanks for watching this video about MDM core capabilities, how to deliver the best version of truth. This is a continuation to our MDM overview video that I posted a few days back. This is a little deeper to talk about more about the technical use cases and how must you should follow certain steps to deliver the best version of truth. Let's take a deeper look at it. Before going into these different steps, I want to give some of the technical use case that I've shared with you earlier during the MDM short video. Is basically the root cause of all the issues the same. Many organizations today have implemented multiple systems that contain duplicate, incomplete, and inaccurate information. For an instance, organizations often have multiple instances of customer contact due to multiple touch points. The one example which I have shared earlier, data is coming from sales, coming from e-commerce, POS, and also from the marketing. The same thing. Each instance of the data is different from others, where only careful comparison determines the latest and the most accurate information. So, in order to deliver the best version of truth, there are 10 different steps required to do, right? Start from access, discover layer, modeling layer, cleansing, enrichment, matching, consolidation, relation, security, and finally the consumption layer. Let's take a deeper look at each layer in detail, so you should have a detailed understanding about the core capabilities of the MDM. First one, access. Master data such as customers, products is often stored in multiple different formats and is distributed across multiple heterogeneous applications and databases. Reliably accessing this data in disparate formats from the disparate sources can be challenging. In addition, the access might require many different latencies depending upon the business requirements. Batch movement in bulk for very large volumes of data or real-time access for instantaneous processing. Performance, high availability, minimizing the impact to MDM implementation as new data sources are introduced or the prime requirements. I'm coming back to the same example which I have shared earlier. What you see here on the operational source systems, I have sales, e-commerce, POS, marketing. From each different source system, I'm getting data from a separate format. Sales coming in, the NoSQL, e-commerce would be in a database table format, POS is in an XML format. So there is no limitation in terms of what format that you need to keep it in the source system. So you must need to have a solid accessing tool to gain the data from these different sources and put it into the operational data store, so that the operational data store would be your source for your MDM. The second item in our list is the discovery. Data discovery and profiling are the essential starting point for any MDM engagement. A key requirement for faster MDM implementation is to first understand and quantify the content, quality, and structure of the source data residing across several applications and data sources within the enterprise. Data discovery and profiling require the following steps. Analyze the data to automatically profile the content. Understand the detail, complexity behind the data structures. Discover the hidden inconsistencies and incompatibilities among the data sources. How they are different, what is the fundamental issues associated with a specific set of data sources. You need to understand that in detail. to find the gaps, redundancies, inaccuracies to resolve before moving the data. What needs to be done? What is the action plan? You need to list all these items in detail. Catalog the data by these characteristics in terms of completeness, conformity, consistency, accuracy, duplications, and dependencies. The third one is modeling. So based on the detailed understanding of your data, right? So you have um, how well the data is being there in the source system, what all the inconsistencies, and how I can able to build the gap between this data. So with the detailed insights, and I will list out a detailed plan of action, what all the action item that I need to do from the disparate source system I have it, how I can able to pull them together, what kind of data model I should have it, so that the data from the different sources can be ingested into this data model. The data model is the prime logical layer before you go into the physical model. You need to lay out it to understand. Based on your understanding of your source system, you need to have a solid plan of the modeling. The fourth layer is the cleansing. Once the data is loaded into that the physical data object based on the data model that you have listed on the stage 3, the integrated data cleansing is a crucial step that ensures that the resulting master data of the highest quality. MDM tool integrates the cleanse engine comes with a set of predefined cleanse functions and standardization list for transforming and manipulating data as it is loaded into the MDM repository. MDM tools also fully supports UTF-8 character encoding, which permits international data, including DBCS alphabets, to be read and modified correctly. Let's take an example here. The data coming from the different sources, and here what you see here on the data from sales, data from e-com, data from POS and marketing. Just focus only on the address. The first address, it says 3137 Fire Road, Suite A. Second one also the same, but the third one coming from POS, it has some issues associated with the data. It's 3137 instead of Fire Road, it says FIE. The R is missing, so there is a typo here. So there is an issue with the data. And if you look at the fourth one, it is 3137 Fir Road. E is missing. So what we need to do, we need to have a matching data, meaning how I can able to clean the data, because before I load it into my MDM environment, I need to clean it first, making sure the data coming from 4 different sources are representing the same address because it's from the same customer. So you need to have a cleansing logic in place. Some of the tools may have it, or you could predefine it, pre-cleanse the data and load it before MDM takes it. And the fifth option is the enrichment. Once the data is loaded, once the data is clean, then you need to find an opportunity how you can able to enhance it. The process can include verifying the attributes such as company names, customer names, credit ratings, counterparty information, security names, product names. All this information associated with specific entities needs to be making sure they are consistent. And if there is a way you can augment the data or enrich the data, there are multiple ways to accomplish it. As a source system, you have a third-party data providers can furnish packaged data sets that can be loaded as another contributing source and processed through the standard cleansing, matching and consolidation process. And here example, I'd say if I want to for clean my address data, I need to have the packaged data sets. It's coming from USPS data sets, so you could match against that and making sure that the data I'm getting from the sources, what is the corresponding match or a correct address. So that is the third-party data providers I'm talking about. And the second option is through real-time service calls. You can use open cleanse architecture to invoke specific on-demand web services to third-party data service providers such as Dun & Bradstreet and Axiom. And here, if you take a look at it, the enrichment process which I'm talking about, I clean the data using my cleansing process, and the address are highlighted in the red color. But on the right hand side, I added longitude and latitude, which is called enrichment. On top of the data, I clean it. I can also provide additional information so that the data will be enriched. So the data can be used across the organization as accurate as possible. So that is the enrichment we are talking about here. The sixth step in our list is the matching. Once the data is clean, once the data is enriched, then it is ready to be matched. Matching compares records for point of similarity. When sufficient point of similarities are found, the records are identified as candidates for linking and merging. The MDM tool uses deterministic matching. I think if we had seen my earlier video, I'm talking about the exact matching, right, of attributes, and or the fuzzy matching to match similar attributes of records based on sensitivity level, which are completely configurable in any tool. Fuzzy matching utilizes various matching algorithm, kind of a blend of probabilistic, heuristics, linguistic, phonetic, and/or empirical methods based on the type of data being matched, with built-in algorithms for phonetic spellings and partial fields. This combination of approaches provides greater flexibility and generates accurate results. And see the data getting from the 4 different sources, how I can able to, using the fuzzy match on the person name, I can able to identify them, and fuzzy match on the address, I can able to identify them as one record or a unique record. And from the city, state and zip, since they're all same, I can use an exact match so to get the unique record, an exact match on the external identifier like the social security number. The 7th step is the merging process. Once the data has been matched and identified for matching, it can be, the user can do anything they want. The user have a choice to, how to treat the identified match. Linking the matched records does not consolidate the data, but merely creates cross references to indicate that they have been matched. If needed, a merged record can later be dynamically assembled upon the request, merging them as persisted consolidated records. Lets you form the best version of truth by selecting the best attributes from each source record. Take an example here. The merging rules which we are talking about, the first name, last name, and the middle name is getting from the e-commerce. So based on my scoring results, it takes that value for the best version of truth candidate, and date of birth is coming from different source system. Based on the trust scores that you set in the MDM tool, on top of it the address will be already matched against the rest of the data that comes along with the remainder of the columns to make that record completely unique, and that is the best version of truth or the master record. The 8th step in our process is the relate. Once configured, it can recognize the relationship, right? Basically, hierarchy management capabilities of MDM lets you define and configure the hierarchies and relationship to be stored within MDM. For an example, you see here the employee orders it a specific product which is part of a category, and the supplier supplies that product. So to get an item, there are multiple relationship to a specific item. So how you could able to link them together, you must need to have a capability either in a tool, or if you're defining everything manually, you need to understand the details of each data element that you are bringing into MDM. So that's basically what the relate is talking about here, to create the relationship. Security, that is the ninth step in our process. More than ever before, companies face a multifaceted problem. While their success depends on sharing information, it's crucial that this information is shared only with the right individuals, both inside and outside the organization. For an instance, a human resources department may require detailed information about company employees, including eligibility information such as SSN number. A manager needs to know only the employee's title, address, or phone number. Moreover, this same company may also need to demonstrate compliance with federal regulations such as the Bank of Security Act and Patriot Act. Consumption. The business users or data steward can improve data quality to proactively validate, augment, and enrich master data at the point of creation. So, data within multi-domain MDM is typically sourced from multiple operational analytical systems. More advanced organizations are choosing to use their MDM as a system of entry of master record into their enterprise prior to distributing or approving its use in downstream application. Finally, the consumption layer is basically where the data is being loaded into the data marts, or even giving the data back into the source system who is giving the data back to MDM. So because they need to know, the source system need to know how the data they supplied has been modified and make it unique across the enterprise or across the company. So you could send the data back to the the source system to deliver their, it's part of their report generation, or it could be resupplying the data back to the company operations. So I think we have discussed in detail about the MDM core capabilities, because we talked about multiple layers: access, discovery, modeling, cleansing, enrichment, matching, consolidation, hierarchy management, security, and the consumption layer in detail. For more questions in terms of MDM consultation,